So the story here is I wanted to kind of create a pollinator garden, and milkweed is a primary crop for monarch butterflies and other pollinators as well, and that's kind of where I started. And this growth here is like under 40 days old. I planted these seeds in the dirt on the 22nd or so of July, and this is September 9, and we've already gotten pollinated. Well, not pollinated, but we already had a monarch butterfly lay their eggs, and these are the caterpillars. So you got one up there, you got two little guys in here. Got another one somewhere on this one, and he's incognito at the moment. I don't know where he flew off to. Well, not flew, but you get the idea. And then at first I thought that these black dots all over the leaves were eggs, but after 5 seconds of internet research, I was able to find out that that is in fact caterpillar poop. The eggs look kind of like that guy. Kind of like, not too gross, but like the head of a zit. And when that guy pops, it'll be a little caterpillar. I think there's another one underneath this leaf. Right about underneath this one. So there's a couple eggs I actually saw yesterday while I was doing the weave for these tomatoes. I was sitting near this plant and I saw a monarch kind of land on one of the leaves and then like bend its body, kind of like curl up like underneath and like spit out the eggs. And apparently for monarchs, it's only one egg at a time that they lay. So that was another thing I learned from the 5 seconds of internet research that I did. And this is kind of like, my milkweed, my first milkweed pot. There's little ones here still coming out of the ground, that will hopefully develop after these ones kind of finish getting eaten. I don't know how long they're gonna last after being eaten, but once figuring out the germination for these, it's pretty easy to do, or it's pretty easy to get them to grow. Out of these 8 here, these 2 probably ain't gonna make it, but it was better than like that bag over there with all the caterpillars on it. That represents like 60, 70, 80 seeds, and these are the only ones I can get to germinate when I planted them in just dirt, like seed starting mix or potting mix. The key to the milkweed germination so far that I've been able to figure is actually soaking them in like a little jar, with plastic wrap on the top, poke some holes in it, stick it by a window. A week or 2 or 3, the little tails start to pop out of the seeds, and then you can plant those right into any dirt you want. Leave the seeds sticking out on top of the dirt, water it in, and a couple days later you'll have, you know, these guys. And then a week or 2 later you'll have, you know, that guy. And then like literally 4 weeks after that, you'll have this guy and this guy. They grow quick once you can figure out the germination. So one last gander here at the caterpillars. So we got 1, 2, and 3 for sure. Got another guy under here. I'm gonna call him number 4. Can't really get him too well. And we had a 5th one on that leaf. You'll know it when you see it. Where is it? Yeah, that leaf right there. I think he overate it and the leaf broke, and maybe he fell or jumped to another branch, but I can't seem to find him, so might have lost one little guy. But we got 5, and then we have another one here. So we got, you know, between 4 and 6 caterpillars and a couple more eggs. And again, this whole pot right here with all these plants are less than 40 days old. So that was way faster than I ever expected it to be. I assumed, obviously incorrectly, that you know, the milkweed had to, you know, grow up and actually produce flowers in order for caterpillars and butterflies to land, well, butterflies to land on them and then caterpillars to eat. But apparently it's the entire plant, not just the flowers, obviously. So if some of these survive long enough, the plants, I mean, to end up flowering, then when the butterflies are born, they'll have some nectar right away. Otherwise, we're trying with lantana as well, with not very much success. And then we're gonna throw in some zinnias and some goldenrod and some other stuff later on. But this is basically the beginnings of the pollinator quote-unquote garden. And then this is the bag garden, at least part of it. There's another couple bags in the back with some more tomatoes. So I think this is actually really cool. You know, tomatoes, you've seen tomatoes before, and you know, these are jalapenos, whoop-de-doo. But you know, to get, you know, monarch caterpillars inside of 40 days is pretty nuts and pretty freaking awesome. So if I can do it in my little donkey space over here, and then you can too, probably.